Oh, thank you very much.
Hey, well done.
A round of applause there.
You know how to get us in the mood, don't you?
This is Good Night Gladesville. Hello, everybody. We're Danny and Geoff. And, there's a good reason why we just played that song, and it is because the Italian Festa is on again next Sunday, October 27th. Dramatic music. It's all
It is a big event. It's a dramatic event, and it's worthy of such great music.
So we went a couple of years ago, Geoff, didn't we? We had a great day.
Yeah.
This year's a whole bunch of things on again, and your highlight for you, I remember last time, was you got to eat so much.
Oh, lots of food. Excellent.
So what have they got on this year?
Here we go, Danny. I'll give you a rundown of what's there. The Italian Auto Club will be there this year. They're featuring the biggest collection of vintage, classic, and contemporary Italian cars and bikes assembled in New South Wales ever. That's the biggest ever. There'll be jumping castles. There'll be a live chess game. That's chess, Danny, not chest.
Yeah,
chess
game.
Chess.
Mistake last time.
Chess. There's stilt walkers, rock climbing, puppet shows, animal farms, face painting, dance competitions, nonnas cooking shows. There's various stage acts, including the Sylvania and the Nikki Webster dances. It's a great event. There's plenty to eat.
What about this one on the main stage? They've got the Dolce girls.
The Dolce girls.
Are they in relation to Joe, do you think?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, G.
They just come on stage and yell, everybody, shut up in your face. But there's plenty of food to eat, plenty of Italian culture to soak up. And it's an amazing event, Danny.
Definitely. And so the feature event of the Festa this year is the massive Italian vintage car display, which we've already said it sounds great. So to tell us a little more about that, we've joined on the line by a man who has quite a great involvement with the display on Sunday. It's the president of the New South Wales Fiat Club, and his name is Mr. Tony Studans, and he joins us now on the show. Hello, Tony. Can you hear us?
Good evening.
G'day, Tony. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us on the show. So you're the president of the Fiat Club of New South Wales.
Yes, I'm in the hot seat, yep.
Yeah, so can you tell us, how many cars does it take to create the biggest assortment of Italian vintage cars that has ever been assembled in New South Wales?
Well, we have a bit of a benchmark. There's been an Italian car show in Canberra for about 25 years now, which has, at times, 600 to 800 cars on display.
Wow.
Now, we've been travelling down to that every year in April, usually in the front lawns of the old Federal Parliament House, and had a great old time. And we put two and two together and said the Norton Street Italian Festa is a great event, but it's missing some cars.
Aha.
Yeah.
And Norton Street's not the world's largest street.
Yes.
So we thought, where are we going to put 600 to 800 cars if we could rustle them up?
Yep.
And we're being ambitious saying 600 to 800 now, but we'll certainly have a few hundred there on the day.
Yep.
Cool.
And Pioneers Park down the bottom end of Norton Street is where we're holding it.
Oh, so that's the car park, is that what you're saying?
No, that's the public park.
Oh, right.
Your dog's loose in there, and all the boot campers turn up on a Sunday morning and phone on Sunday morning. But no, we're going to push them all out. We're going to put some fine Italian engineering on display.
Ah, that sounds fantastic. So tell us about some of the makes and models that will be there.
Well, if you can think Italian, and I don't mean start singing like Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin, but if you can think Italian for a minute, obviously my club set, no bias there at all.
Oh, okay, yes, of course.
Obviously Alfa Romeo, you've got to have that.
Yes, classic Italian name.
Lancia, of course.
Oh, yes.
And then you start getting things, little insignificant cars like Ferraris.
Sorry, the what?
I've never heard of it. They're new, are they?
Never heard of them.
Right. Yeah, they're the ones with the dog, aren't they? Yes.
It's the one on its back legs, yes, that's right.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's right.
And even though they're not Italian anymore, Lamborghini, but certainly all the older Lamborghinis are Italian.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got some really the weird ones, things like the Di Tomasos, which are Italian bodies but with Ford engines. So we're magnanimous. We'll let the Brotherhood come in. They
take
can
them
come
all.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention all the motorbikes, Ducatis, Benellis, Moto Guzzis, all the motorbikes, all the scooters, the Vespas and Piaggios and all those.
Wow. Could you make it even bigger and add a few Mini Coopers, like from the Italian Job?
I think somebody needs to take you to one side and put you through the movie. I think they're British. Michael Caine's got his accent for a reason,
A little bit just cheating, isn't it?
Danny, learn your cars here. Come on.
No, they're not Italian, but they win the Italian Job.
So you're expecting some pretty exotic models to be down there as well?
Oh, we know there's some exotic stuff coming, and there's the odd racing car turning up.
Oh, fancy.
We're sort of showcasing a very large the Fiat Nationals in January. We've got a 50th anniversary event where all the Fiat clubs in Australia have a competition. That's in January at Eastern Creek, so we'll have some racing cars on display to promote that as well.
Wow. So it's going to be up to 600 vehicles, did you say?
Well, no, we've got space for that.
Yeah, okay,
it's
right.
The question
It's
of
whoever
who brings
turns
their car on the day.
Right.
The trouble is with an inaugural event, you've got to get people motivated.
That's it. Yep.
So far, we know, for instance, that there's got to be 200 or 300 cars coming along anyway, and maybe 200, 300 bikes.
Please tell me though, you don't have to on the day. You don't have to buy one of those Liechhardt Council parking tickets for every car when you park them in the park there.
I love my Liechhardt Council.
They do have those ticket machines everywhere. If you do need to do that, I'll have a massive jar of change at home, so I'm happy to bring it in and get rid of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the point about parking in the park. And if
You don't have to
I
do
make a call out too, and if you don't belong to a car club and you
Yep.
have an Italian car, bring it down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay.
Even if you're not a member, we're happy to have you display your car for the day, and it's cheap parking.
And you get free
quality
parking.
action.
Yeah,
How good's
of
that?
course, yeah.
So
You'll get the occasional membership application form thrown your way to join.
Do you think would I be able to sneak in my Mitsubishi Lancia down there by chance, or no? I wouldn't get away with that.
Friendship, isn't it? Just friendship.
Oh, okay, well, I won't
So you
try
had a
that.
Valiant to bring down or something with the foxtails on the back.
That would be good. Yeah.
So all these cars coming, are they owned by private
Yeah,
people?
private individuals. Like my car club, for instance, it's been around since 1949 when it started off with Fiat Topolinos, and there'll be the odd little Topolino turn up from the late 40s, early 50s, and right up to I'm driving a current Fiat Abarth, which is you've got you in the showroom now. So there's a huge range of cars in between.
Yep.
With any luck, we might get some even older ones, 1920s vintage, 1930s vintage, some traditional vintage cars as well.
Yeah, and these cars are all running. They all
We'll
go.
have to drive there.
Yep. That's amazing.
They're good, those little Fiats too. I remember when I was a kid and my family went back to Italy, and my dad's cousin lent us his tiny little Fiat, and we drove it to Venice on the big freeway over there, and we knew with trucks going 140 k's an hour, almost going over the top of us, but they went along well, and we got there fine. The good old Fiat. So they're a good little car, a good sturdy car.
Well, I don't know if you watch Formula One at all, but if you see those red things running around with the wings and the slicks and everything else,
Yeah.
on the nose cone there's a little horse emblem at the front.
Yes.
But immediately behind that is a little Fiat emblem. Fiat knows nothing about speed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Italian cars know nothing about driving hard and fast. And it's the passion about it all.
Yeah, definitely.
They ask you to drive them. They'll sit in your driveway and they'll call you over and say, just sit in me and put that key in.
Before you know it, you go on the freeway.
Exactly.
So a couple of years ago, we went down to the festival, and there was a really beautiful red Ferrari on display, and that caught Danny's attention. And Danny, that had a particular sign on it. What was the sign that was on that?
I remember it caught my attention, not because it was a Ferrari, but it had a sign on it that said, "Don't sit on this car if you're wearing clothes." Because obviously they didn't want the belt buckles and that sort of thing to scratch the cars. So I want to know, are those, if Ferrari's there again this year, will you allow people to sit on it if they're in the nude? That's the question I want to ask.
Well, now we're talking about the council ranges and the parking tickets. They're also empowered to enforce a dress code.
I think the police might actually be there to enforce that one. So, okay, so I'll take that as a no. I won't try that.
Your scheme is foiled.
I can only encourage it.
You enjoy
I forgot that it was an offence.
you enjoy the spectacle of me getting arrested.
He is Italian, so anything could happen here.
Exactly.
Yes, well, magistrate is a Latin word after all.
Definitely. So if anyone is actually listening out there and they are generally harbour a secret passion for Italian cars and particularly Fiats in this case, can they get involved with your club? And if so, what do they have to do?
Well, just turn up on the day. Each of the clubs will have a display booth to talk to members of the club and find out about things. Each club does lots of different activities. We've got social type Italian car clubs out there. You've got obviously the brand clubs, and for instance, my Fiat Club, just like the Alpha Club, we have social events. We actually go out to racetracks if you want to learn how to drive faster. We do navigation runs and runs to wineries and all sorts of interesting
All good
activities.
fun. Yeah.
Runs to wineries, that sounds all right. And also very Italian.
Yeah, I have this vision of a Matt Damon voiceover or something, or like those Hollywood movie voiceovers.
Yes.
All people go to the winery. Come back sober.
Well, it's been great talking to you tonight. But finally, before we let you go, we like to play little quizzes with our guests if we can. And we've got a little bit of a test tonight for your automotive knowledge to see how good you are. We've compiled a collection of car horn sounds.
Oh, here we go.
And now we're going to play these down. We're going to see if you can guess the make of car that is producing this car horn. So, Danny, hit the first one there.
Righto, here we go.
So, Tony, what sort of car do you think that is?
Oh, that sounds a very mundane horn.
Yep.
Yeah, you're close.
I have to think something mainstream like a Ford.
Oh, very close.
Very close. It's a Holden Commodore, but
Commodore.
apparently
Well, one of the two.
they were the same car about 10 years ago, so I think that counts as a win.
Maybe if we talk about the Australian automotive industry, that horn was supplied by the same supplier to either.
Yes, exactly.
Okay then.
So
Well,
I think
you're right.
you've correctly identified that one.
Definitely tick that one, yeah.
Let's try the second one, Danny. What have you got?
Okay, you got to listen to this one. It's a bit of a drive-by.
Now that's interesting. Interesting. No, it's the engine noise that goes with it, you see.
Of course.
okay.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
it's a Ferrari.
Ferrari.
I think it's Ferrari.
What's that?
What is it, Danny?
It could be. I couldn't actually. I admit I couldn't quite find out what that was. But I thought it might have been like an angry Mercedes driver driving past or something.
Our competition has failed.
They're angry Mercedes drivers.
I don't know. Well,
I think
it's the opposite to the Italian.
I think, seeing as they were talking to the expert on Italian cars, the engine note was the key there, and he picked it as a Ferrari. So I think we can say that's another point to Tony there.
Definitely, yeah.
Picking that as a
He's
Ferrari.
trumped me on that one.
Look, we've got horn number 3 here.
Now I do know what this one is. Have a listen.
Now, that could either be an American Buick
Yes.
or something that handles like the Queen Mary.
It's actually the Manly Ferry. So, yeah.
Very close. That's another point, I'd say.
Okay,
Horn number 4.
A couple of silly ones here. What's it?
He used to be in our club, but we drummed him out. Silly horn.
That's actually from my Uncle Frank's Kingswood.
Yeah.
He used to have that novelty sound.
Very
and
good.
stuff.
And the last one, Danny.
Finally hit. The sound that every child loves.
Well, yes, but the thing is, was it a Bedford Mr. Whippy van or a Morris Mr. Whippy van?
See, we just said Mr. Whippy van. You've gone for the actual type of vehicle that was containing the Mr. Whippy van.
Indeed,
too
I'm
good for
going to
us.
suggest a Bedford as the most common one. We've pinched that recording.
I
give
think
you that one.
Tony
That's
well and
very
truly
good.
trumped us there, Danny. I think our competitions need to be researched a bit better. But Tony, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight, and we wish you all the best for the display on Sunday. Hope heaps of people turn up and bring their cars, but also come and look at the cars and sign up to be part of your club.
Thanks, Tony.
Recorder out, we'll do a live cross.
We should. Thanks so much for having a chat to us, Tony.
Okay, then.
Might see you there on the day.
Yeah.
See you, bye.
And of course, Italian Festa. When's it on, Danny?
This Sunday at Norton Street. in
All of
Liechhardt.
Norton Street.
Yeah.
Don't eat for the 3 days beforehand. You'll
No.
just need all that space for when you get there.
It's great. There's food, there's activities, there's chess games, and a whole bunch of cars this year. It's really good. So get along if you can this Sunday to the Italian Festa. Anyway, we've got to get along with our show, so let's continue
Let's
on,
move
Geoff,
on.
shall we? And we'll be back with more after this short break.